Chinese warships roar through waters around Taiwan, China's largest naval exercises in nearly 3 decades, in December deploying 90 vessels to the sensitive region. The goal? To exert pressure on Taiwan and reiterate China's sovereignty claims over the country, claims the government in Taipei rejects.
我要强调的是，台湾是中国领土不可分割的一部分。
China has threatened to seize Taiwan by force and has been stepping up its military threats around the country to show the world it's serious about taking control. But the United States stands between China and its ambitions. Washington is committed to providing defense equipment to Taipei under the Taiwan Relations Act, selling everything from tanks to missile defense systems, while also deliberately not saying whether they would directly defend Taiwan if China attacked. All this to deter Beijing. But what happens if deterrence isn't enough? Taipei can only do so much to prevent a Chinese invasion. And with China building up its arsenal and carrying out more frequent military drills around Taiwan, Washington is watching closely. And with U.S. President Donald Trump back in office, the question of Washington's commitment to Taiwan is front of mind in Taipei, after Trump previously said Taiwan is too far away to defend, and more recently suggesting the country needs to pay for protection.
You know, Taiwan, they stole our chip business. Okay? They want us to protect, and they want protection. They don't pay us money for the protection, you know? The mob makes you pay money, right?
Trump's comments came despite arms sales to Taiwan hitting record levels during his first presidency and going strong under former U.S. President Joe Biden. Some analysts in the U.S. say Trump is threatening Taiwan to make sure it's taking its own defense seriously.
Taiwan is at around 2.5% of GDP in terms of defense spending. The defense budget has nearly doubled over the last 8 years or so. But I think there is a broad consensus in Washington, and especially among those who are in the Trump administration, that 2.5% of GDP is not going to cut it.
Taiwan seems willing to play ball, with President Lai Ching-te in February announcing a special budget to increase defense spending.
目前我们国防预算呢，约占我们 GDP 的2.5%，那我们先以3%为目标，同时也以特别预算来编列，来达成。
And reports say Taiwan is also now looking to procure a multi-billion US dollar arms package from the US. But Washington also supports Taiwan's defense in more practical ways.
Increased U.S. training of Taiwan, as well as Taiwanese units training in the continental United States with National Guard units. Those are things that are relatively new developments. Those are tangible things that the United States is doing to help Taiwan.
But despite these developments, some people in Washington believe that Taiwan is not Trump's main concern.
Very clearly, the priority is going to be on China as a rival, and that it is not just military, it's economic as well as it's societal.
The U.S. is locked in a race with China for dominance in Asia. The U.S. has a strong foothold in the region, where close allies like Japan, the Philippines, and South Korea host dozens of U.S. military bases.
Taiwan sits really at the center of what's called the first island chain. This is essential. America essentially has China surrounded by allies and partners, in many cases U.S. military bases. China is very limited right now.
Trump's also appointed China hawks, like Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to his new cabinet, a signal his administration will be tough on China. Movements already taking place, with the State Department updating its website on U.S. Taiwan relations, removing a line that says the U.S. does not support Taiwan independence, and adding one to say differences between Taiwan and China must be resolved without coercion. Washington appears to be clarifying its stance on how it would respond to a Taiwan emergency, with some analysts in the U.S. saying Washington would not stand idly by.
There are upwards of 50 to 80,000 American citizens in Taiwan. If the PLA is told to start launching attacks against Taiwan, American citizens will start dying in large numbers. No politician here in the United States would be able to sanction inaction.
Only a month into Trump's presidency, and a lot remains uncertain. But Taipei's willingness to accommodate Washington and its positioning in the U.S.'s Asia strategy gives stakeholders a reason to look beyond the face value of Donald Trump's statements. Lien, Laurel, Stewart, and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.